Wow, did you hear that? They got this big Senate runoff, and Sidney Powell was saying, don't vote if the situation is as bad as it is. And maybe she has a point. Let's bring in Congressman Doug Collins. But, Congressman, welcome to Newsmax, first of all. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you, Don.
So, look, you saw that meeting. It was intense, a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of rage at the governor. First off, they're raising very valid questions, we believe, about the Dominion systems that apparently will be there for the runoff. Is Georgia in any position right now to have a runoff election, given what you're dealing with?
I think we are, and it's unfortunate. Right now, there's a lot of questions. You brought that up. Your previous guest brought that up. There's questions that we brought up when we started the recount down here, and I've been demanding and asking that we have these questions answered, like the consent decree that we believe actually lowered the standards for signature matching on absentee ballots. We've had questions on the drop boxes and their, how they were managed and how they were kept up, and even if they were, frankly, should have been put in to start with. We have these issues out there, but one of the things that I have to say right now is this election, barring something changes, and there are lawsuits out there, and if they're successful, then we can have changes to how this January 5th election goes. But right now, it's going forward. And I have to say, look, we want every part of any kind of election fraud, interference, or anybody that vote was not counted, that needs to be corrected, and we're going to push for that. But right now, we've also got to face the real facts that election on January 5th will decide if two folks who support Chuck Schumer and a socialist agenda will go to the Senate, or will we send two conservatives to the Senate to maintain what we have seen over the last 4 years? I'm in favor of continuing the policies of Donald Trump and having conservatives and Republicans run the Senate, and we've got to follow that right now with the election we have. And David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler have to be reelected.
I want to play more from today. Your name was mentioned, by the way, in a mostly positive way. I want to play this. This is Lin Wood, attorney for President Trump, but he's all fired up about the governor and the situation down there.
I want you to go to the governor's mansion. I want you to circle it. I want you to blow your horns until Brian Kemp comes out and orders a special session of the Georgia legislature. Get us our legislature and tell everybody we want our legislator to meet, and we want him to fix the mess that he created.
It would seem like a special session is in order, Congressman. What do you think?
Well, I think it's something we've talked about, but the governor has said that he did not want to call a special session. And there's only two ways in Georgia that you can get a special session. One is the governor call it. The other is the 3/5 of the legislature, General Assembly, to call it. That's not going to happen. We don't have 3/5 of the legislature that actually would call it. And the governor has said that he would not want to call a special session, even if it meant dealing with some of these things that we've seen on signature verification, not having a mark on the absentee ballot, so when it's separated from the envelope that it can't be traced. These issues, because and what his lawyers and others have told him is that we cannot continue to have that be a part of the election process going on. So they're saying he can't do that right now. So that's why he's saying it. Will it possibly help others to know that he's in favor of that? He said he is. Well, why don't the Secretary of State actually go and do an audit of these signature verifications as well?
All right. So back to the runoff. He's basically saying don't participate. You heard Sidney Powell, unless this stuff gets fixed. And I don't know. I mean, let me ask you this. Was today an inflection point? Because there was a lot of enthusiasm in that room. There was a lot of anger in that room. Do you think today changes the game a little bit in Georgia?
I think it highlights the need that the Secretary of State and all need to take seriously the concerns of many who are really concerned about this election. We've been talking, I've been fighting for this for a long time and saying, look, we've been sending letters. You have to have the signature verification. You need to have this so people are sure. Look, I want you to think about this. If we had not have asked for the hand recount, we would have not found all close to between 8,000 to 10,000 ballots that were never counted, 3,000 of which went to the president. Let's just think about this for a second. If we had, people that criticized us and me for asking for this and saying, why aren't we looking into some of these issues? We would have never found people who legally voted. We would have never found their votes because we had incompetence in some of our elections commission. We've now shined that light. We were continuing to shine that light. And this is the only election right now that we currently have. If the lawsuits change that, then so be it. Then we can actually get to the bottom of it. But if they do not, the question goes back in time. We've got to have people show up. If they do not show up, it's a default. And it's a loss for this president. It's a loss for this country because we cannot have Chuck Schumer running the United States Senate. And that's what would happen if people get so frustrated down here. My hope is that the Republicans and conservatives in Georgia will show up en masse, and they will show that this state can actually elect our conservatives, and we send back Warnock and we send back Ossoff, and not to have them represent us in the United States Senate. Now, one thing else to remember. The Secretary of State's office, who has claimed all along that it's been a clean election, they actually have said now there's 250 investigations going on into different aspects of the election, from dead people voting and other things. We've got to fix this problem.
Totally. And you know what? We can't have that guy Ossoff in the Senate. I can't stand this guy. So whatever has to be done, I think Lin Wood could have another one of those meetings, and everybody would be, if he tells everybody will go to the polls. I think he's got to get some stuff done. He will get it done, and then we'll have a big turnout. Thank you very much, Congressman Collins.
Thanks, Rick. Take care.
Okay, you bet. We'll have you back soon, okay?